Well, that was shit. Welcome to Pommyinoz. How you doing? Wrist hurts from smashing the dice yesterday. If you are new around here, we're on an emotional roller coaster. We're right near 400. That's like the one thing that is keeping me getting up in the morning this morning. Please drop a like, please drop a subscribe. It means the world to me. The love and support all of you have shown, whether it's in banter and you're a rival fan or whether you are a Cout and blue bagger, means the world to me. And honestly, the messages I've had last night checking on my well-being mean the world to me from all of you, whether you're a Magpie, whether you're a Richmond fan, or whether you are one of my own, my beloved Carlton fans. I love you all. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate the support. So where do we go with this? I haven't slept a wink last night, and my wife has been through with me with a lot of crap team performances from my teams. Historically, I don't support the most successful teams, and she gets used to me having a little bit of a suck and a whinge, but I know it's bad when after the game I come out of here where I watch the Central HQ, where I've got my stat sheet and everything, and she gives me a hug. That is when it's bad, man. That's when I know it's bad. It was an abject performance, and I think what hurts me the most, and there's a few things, I mean, I could give you a list, but let's just rattle them off. I think what hurts me the most is at the start of this week, we had Teague saying we'll play 5 games and then finals. We had Cripper saying we'll go down fighting, and then Melbourne get dicked by Sydney, and the door is open again. It's almost like you don't get second chances very often in life in itself, but in sport you genuinely don't either. And they had literally a second chance to make this right. It was like the Collingwood game didn't happen. Fresh mindset, go out there and say what you're saying and put it on the field so we can see it. And that third and fourth, man, like, is this what we've become? Like I know a lot of you are jumping on the bandwagon with me now and being frustrated, but there's still a lot that aren't. And I respect everyone's opinion, and I kind of respect in a way, in a real warped, sadistic way, people saying don't bag them, stick behind them, but I also worry about you. Like, I genuinely do. Like, I'm envious that you can be that, like, rose-tinted. Because, like, maybe it's me. Sometimes I think maybe it's a cultural thing being a Pom. But to me, if the same thing keeps happening, you look to change something. And I always thought that wasn't cultural, that was just common sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I tried to make a pavlova, my wife's mum's no longer with us, and she craves the pavlova, and I've tried to perfect the pavlova, and the first time I beated it for X amount of time and it fell flat. And I tried new things until I got it kind of there. I kept trying. I didn't just fucking put the first mixture in and go, sit there by the oven and go, oh, please God, make this mixture be right. Like, I tried new things, and I expected better of myself. I expected it to be perfect. And that's how I conduct myself with everything in life. Even these videos, I'll watch them back and go, that was a bit garbage, that was a bit good. And I just don't know, we're not getting better. And I've literally slept about an hour last night, and then I've just been doing stats for this video and stats for next week, just trying to find something, like anything, like, if the cheeky smiles Cripper gives the camera versus goals conceded, like, is there some similarity? And it hurts, man, because that third and fourth, and the cold hard facts, under Brendan Bolton, our second halves are a goal and 4 behind's better. And I love Bolton, he's a great bloke, but the cunt couldn't coach, man. Let's be honest, we were woeful. And I don't know where to go, because I see, like, people are telling me we see improvement. Are we seeing improvement? Like, everyone keeps saying on the one hand we're showing improvement, but then it's a shortened season and people have got hubs and stuff. But then you've got to look at it that way. Like, are we better? Like, are we genuinely better? Because to me, I just feel like we've got slightly better, and the shortened quarters have helped us snag victories against Fremantle and Geelong. Like, that's how I feel at the moment. And I don't know if that's just because I've lost and because There was so much energy and positivity 2 weeks ago, and then we've just come back on 2 piss poor fucking performances. I can't tell you. I can only speak from the heart, and this is me bearing my soul. On Blue Abroad, I'm a little bit more measured, but on Pommyinoz, this is just me uncut. And it hurts. I mean, let's have a look at these. Like, this is where I think it's going wrong. And so what I've done here is I've created an algorithm overnight that says where we'd expect a player of age and experience with what they've done this season, and then we've taken them to give a median value, and then we've taken it against what they've outdone, what they've actually done in the 4th this week, and then we've created that as a percentage change from where we expect it to be. So to put it into perspective, your senior players, you're looking for a 15 to 20% lift, and that is across the board. Pendlebury, I did a bit of research. Pendlebury averages 26.4 as a lift. Taylor Adams averages 20.8 as a lift. I did that because that's kind of a recent game for it all to be fresh in the mind. And that's how I'm going to do my player review and game review. So let's start. So we'll start at the bottom and we'll work our way up. So from worst to best. So we've got Matty Cottrell. He went down 98%. Now, I'm not going to be critical on him. This is his 4th game. So, I mean, you can't be too critical. He didn't see it in the 4th, really. He was anonymous. So we can't really critique it. So we move on. But Cottrell's game, on the whole, I did enjoy. There was a little bit of intensity, a little bit of desire. It wasn't the greatest game. But, I mean, he's a young kid. He's a blue bagger. He is one of us. And he does play with heart and intensity. It just wasn't his day in the 4th, and for me, like seeing him run alongside Whitfield for a bit in the 2nd, that was really impressive, and I enjoy his endeavour, so I'm not even going to count him, because at this stage of the season, if you're counting on a 4th game, you've got big issues as a footy club, so he gets a free pass for me. It wasn't the best though, and I would expect better, and I'm sure he's the type of bloke that will fire up next time. Harry McKay, minus 62.8% output in the 4th. In a game that has no goals and in a game that's on the line, you're looking for your key forwards to step up. And let's be honest, the 3rd and the 4th, like the guy went for a freaking kebab, did he? With stacking freaking the other mug. Like, what's going on, man? Like, we hear all this from fans that he's the next Buddy. What, Buddy Holly? Like, because he ain't Buddy Franklin, because Jesus, man. I need some Buddy Holly glasses to see what everyone's seeing. He took his goal well, but then, like, he's got no confidence in front of goal. It doesn't look the best. I mean, it wasn't great. Then we've got Cade Simpson, negative 48%. Like, half worse. 30-odd years old, senior player. Give him another year, the fans say. Give him another fucking year. You're winding me up, man. Come on. I love a bubble. I'm a pom. We love banter. We love giggles. We love jokes. This sentiment needs to end, though. You've got Chelsea fans signing Thiago Silva, who's probably arguably been the best centre-back of a decade in world football. They've got him on a free. He's 30-odd years old, mid-30s, and they're kicking off because he's over the hill. And we're talking about giving another guy a year, man. What does he bring? You're telling me that Poulsen and SPS couldn't... I mean, in fact, have you noticed that they're nowhere near this list at the moment? Like, come on. Like, okay, he's played a lot of games, but Jesus, I've worked with people, and we've all worked with them. You know, the old guy who's been there 60 years, and he's absolutely freaking useless, but because of the stupid employment law, you can't get rid of him. So he's just there pushing up daisies, and then he's telling the young kids, oh mate, you know, stick with me, in 20 years you could be me. And we laugh at it because he's got a Ford Mondeo and he's a complete drip. Come on, boys and girls, man. 48.6% from a guy we consider a warrior. A warrior. Warrior of what? Like, well done, credit to him, he's been in the elite game for that long, but this is where players step up, and he didn't. And it's time and time again, it's not just this one game. Great service, fantastic for your service, but Jesus Christ, for the love of all things holy and crystal, please start expecting more of this team. Please have some respect, okay, defend them, but have some self-respect in what this club amplifies and what it means to so many people by accepting mediocrity. And Cade Simpson's fourth quarter is literally in a nutshell. Please, I beg you, you don't have to slate players, but you've got to expect something, and don't make excuses, man. Please, I beg you. 48.6, it was a gash performance, let's be honest. That's all I can say. Gash. Pommyism for absolutely fucking dire. Mark Murphy, negative 39.4. Again, senior player. This is a former captain. This is someone that we all look to, and I love Mark Murphy. He's one person that I don't like to diss or slate or anything like that. But again, we just talked about Pendles. You know, senior figure of the club, captain, old, but he steps up. Negative 40%. Like, what happens with Cade Simpson and Mark Murphy in the fourth with this stupid, shit, loopy garbage? I'm kicking to 50, man. We have this saying in golf called the shit yourself chip. And under pressure, when you're under pressure, your short game, your shot 70 metres in, they fold like butter. Good players don't. And what happens is you de-accelerate through the ball and it just bobs up. It's like, meh, meh. And you see it with their kicking. Their foot's just slowed down. They're trying to guide it too much. They're not kicking through it. And it just pops up with this loopy, hey, Nick Haynes, mark this ball. Fuck me. I chose this team. Out of all the 18 teams, I chose this team. Wasn't born into it. Fucking idiot. SPS, negative 38.6. Please, someone get a memo. If David T takes everything I say and throws it in the file that says bollocks, don't take this. Just keep this snippet. He isn't a defender. He isn't a defender. Look at him. You're ruining his career playing him there. He looks lost. Lost, I tell thee. Get him where Murphy is. Get him on the wing. Get him going forward. Getting him trying to be dynamic. Negative 38.6 from a kid that I fucking love, man, like my own. Horrible. Garbage. Excellent deliverer by foot. Fucking hell. He delivers the ball like freaking a legless postie, man. Eddie Betts, negative 25.8. Again, this is a guy that in the clutch times, like, I know he's a club legend. I know we all love him, but there's loving something and then wanting something. Like, what do we want at this football club? Do we just want 22 blokes that we take back to our fucking nans? And they'd be like, oh, he's nice, let's make him a fucking cake. Because my nana was the nicest nan you ever made. She brought me up from a kid. And I tell you what, even she would say, what the fuck is that piss? It was woeful. It was. The third and fourth, he was anonymous. Like, he had some nice moments in the first half. Again, though, senior figure. Like, some of the arguments people present, he brings the indigenous players on. What, he got like 5, man? Like, how about winning fucking football matches? Fuck bringing people on. Jack Noons, again, this is a Jack Noons game. Like, the first half was good, and like, the guy can do it in the third and fourth. He proved it against Freo, but let's be honest, that Freo game, he did fuck all until that goal. And I love Noons, I'll stick up for him. But, again, that was piss. Mitch McGovern, negative 18.20. Like, why was he there? And I love Mitch as well, he's another one that I like. But, God, he looked cack. Whole game. Like, people saying he straightens us up. Does he? Does he? Like, honestly. 700k, man. 700k. Like, if we're accepting that, throw 700k at your fucking Uncle Pom. Because I haven't drank during lockdown. I've had a rule, like, while I'm in the house, let's not drink. Like, you know, weight management and, like, you know, just mental health. Fucking give me 700k and I'll just freaking drink it in a night. Zach Fisher, negative 17.6. Again, his position, it was never in the forward line. It was never in the forward line. Cheeky coffee there. Never in the forward line. So, like, we can't really expect too much of it. But again, the output from a creative player wasn't there in the fourth. But you can't pick on him too much because he's not a senior player yet. Mark Pierneff, negative 15.7 against Mumford. Like, it's okay, for 3 quarters he probably won the battle. But in the fourth he was pissed, man. When it matters, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, really, football is a bit like soccer in the fact that we're split up into segments. Just the difference is it's 2 and 4. But what you do prior to the fourth is irrelevant if you can't finish it on the fourth, man. It's gash. Patrick Cripps. Now, I watched Teague's press conference and he's talking that Cripper's not injured. Now, I'll say 2 things about this. I wish my wife tagged me as much as Matt DeBoer did. Like, I don't think she's been that close to me in 10 years. Firstly. And the secondly is he's a captain. 13 touches doesn't cut it. Players get out of the DeBoer tag. They look to protect him. It's a team effort, but he wasn't in it. He didn't influence it. There wasn't the fight. There wasn't the desire. There was a lot of fighting words like this week from him. And it's okay, like, I understand, like, people are saying the hub thing. I don't count that as an excuse. That is not an excuse because all the other teams are in it, barring, like, 3 or 4. And I understand, like, to me, I find it disgusting when fans are talking about his mental health because I think that his mental health should not be ever brought up in a debate. And it's something I feel strongly about. If he's got issues, he can tell us. And he can put his hands up and he can do what Stocker did, put his hands up and he goes and we don't talk about it. Because that's fair enough. And more so, he's captain. So if he is struggling for what's going on at home, and my heart bleeds for him because he seems like a fucking stellar bloke and he seems like a great role model for kids. But if he is struggling for it, he shouldn't be there. And I'm not going to speculate if he is because I genuinely think it probably has an influence. But for me, I live by the mantra like every sportsman and anyone doing a job. When I go over the line, I'm saying I'm ready and I'm okay. And it's the responsibility of myself and those around me to say I'm not. We can only judge him on what we know, and that's he's fit. Teague said he's okay. That was piss, man. Like, Cripper, I fucking love you, man. And you've done so much for the club. But if there is a doubt that you're not ready, you're holding an injury, you're hiding it, you're not mentally ready, like, mate, I respect it and I love it, but please stop because you're damaging the team. And if anything, if Cripper left the hub, it would improve the team because the players would live for their fucking boy. We owe Cripps quite a lot. But it wasn't good enough and it's not a captain's performance and I'm sick of hearing from fans, oh, he's holding an injury, oh, he's fucking cracking the sads. You don't know. You can only judge it on what you do know. He said he's ready, he's lined up, he's shaking hands, he's done the coin toss. He means he's ready. And we got to judge it. It was piss, man. You got Stephen Cornelio, a flog who takes shirtless pictures on a yacht. That is what he's known for with his mate Jaeger. And he's saying I should be dropped in round 5. Fucking crap, man. Paddy Dow, negative 11.10. Again, like, you can't really judge him. It's his, second game back, man. But the fact he's ahead, right, of Cripps, McGovern, 700k a year, Betts, Mark Murphy, Cade Simpson and Harry McKay, who evidently is the great white hope of this football club. Great shite hope, man. Because Paddy Dow's ahead of them. Paddy Dow, the guy that everyone slates, he's putting in more of a shift. Jackie Martin, can't say anything bad about you because I fucking love you. Love you, mate. Love you. Great first quarter. The tackles were brilliant. A little bit down. And these are the kind of players, Zach Fisher, Dow, Martin, these are the guys that, like Dustin Martin has a negative influence this season in the fourth. I expect it because they're X-Factor players. They ain't going to give you shifts. They're going to change the game when it comes to them. So, like, it wasn't great. I want to see Jack Martin being in the 20s, but if that happens, we win. And there's my point. That's where I will slate him. If he gets his hands on the pill and he's classy, we win. But, I mean, in the fourth quarter alone, the guy went as, what, 37% efficiency from his 4 touches? Need I say more? Then we go to the guys that did prove. Now, remember that we're looking here for 20% from your leaders. So, bearing in mind, so just because you're in here doesn't mean let's give them kisses. Levi Casbolt plus 11.20. Then again, though, look what he did all game. It ain't fucking hard. Like, let's put that in perspective. This algorithm tells us something based on what they've done. Like, all them guys there, Jack Martin had moments and you said, okay, it's probably hard that the algorithms detected his start. But Levi Casbolt, was he there? Like, 11 point... It's not hard. Like, these type of players, I'm expecting... Like, Mitch McGovern, I'm expecting in a 40 at this stage because he did fuck all. Levi Casbolt, 11.20. Cat game. Probably the worst 11.20% you'll ever see in your history of watching professional sport. Liam Jones, 13.20. He hustled hard. I mean, obviously... You know, his man kicked. He got lost. I mean, you can't forgive him for that Williamson moment, can you? Like when they're both looking at each other and saying which of us shepherds, which of us picks up the fucking ball. I mean, it summed it up, didn't it? Summed it up. Which one of us picks it up? Which one of us? Make a fucking decision and stick to it. Communicate. You're being paid 6 figures. Will Setterfield, here we are. So anything over 15, I'm going to say is pretty good. It's a pass mark. Will Setterfield, phenomenal. Like 15.9, it should be higher. It should be higher for me. And it was brilliant. It was a very standout performance. And he hustles hard and he grinds. And fuck, I love him. I love him. I'm in love. I'm in love. That smile, everything about it. It's intent. And I'm happy with it. It's where I want to see players. Tom Williamson, 15.9. Again, a guy who's stepping into the role. And we talk about Cade Simpson. We've got the ready-made replacement when Newman comes back. Williamson, he's clean. He's hard. He's tough. And I liked his game. I did like his game. Cam Paulson. Now, I'm going to get heat for this. And I can't believe I'm getting heat for a player that is actually playing, who's playing within his ability. Within his ability, ladies and gentlemen. The guy's not A grade, and I think the guy would admit he's not A grade. But he's putting in shifts. He was better in the fourth than what? 18 other blokes. Let that sink in. His output increased. When the game was on the line, his output increased by 80%. By 8% of our team. And you're going to slate him. I ain't going to slate someone who gives it all. Who comes off the field with a red face. Can't slate it because if you're not good enough, you're not good enough. Like, effort and intensity, they're no-brainers for me. But he got everything he could. He did everything he could. There was a few loose kicks. But then again, we could say there was a few loose clicks about everyone but this bloke. Jacob Wheatering, the guy is dynamite. 100% efficiency in the fourth. Hitting targets. Cares. Gives a fucking shit. You see it in his eyes, he cares, man. I care and he cares. He's me out there. He wants it. He believes. He hits targets. 22.6% from your key defender. Increase. It's what I'm talking about. It wins football matches, and I'm so sorry, Jacob, that you've got blokes around you that don't have that heart, don't have that intensity, because you're a lion heart, my friend. Love you. Love you. You're what it's about. What it's about. I watch you play football, and I have tears in my eyes of pride that you're mine. So proud of you, buddy. So proud of you, man. Please never leave, because I don't think I'll be long for this world if you leave. Sam Doherty, we talk about it, 24.9%. Finally, one of our captains having a captain's performance. He tried. He increased his output. It was a tough day at the office, but he kept grinding. He kept fighting. Second and third efforts. Phenomenal. Ed Kerner. Guy goes under the radar, but if you go through the last year, this guy is here all the time in the fourth. What a player. What a player. Again, another guy who has heart of Carlton. He holds what we hold dear as a philosophy for me. And when I think of this football club, I think hard work, determination, success, and never say no attitude, never say die. Once more into the breach, we dust ourselves down and we fight hard. And we play to the final whistle, and this guy does. Ed, man. Ed. Like, I said it at the time when Cripper got there, and I'm going to get slated for this. To me, he was the club captain. It was obvious. Ed Kerno. Look at how we played with Frio. We lifted. I love Ed Kerno. I love him. Fucking love him. Him and his brother, love him. And Sam Walsh at the top of the tree, 29% increase on output in a fourth. Sam Walsh. A child. A baby. A kid. Showing more heart and intensity. Lifting harder and faster. Fighting harder and stronger than any of his teammates. Second year player. Second year player. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Last two games he's been top as well in the fourth. In a losing effort. We don't deserve him. The club doesn't deserve him. Kid of that talent, that skill, that panache, that dedication to his craft, improving game on game, heart, intensity. And he breaks the fucking heart. Love Sam Walsh. So good. And that's the players, and kind of tells the tale of the tape, didn't it? Like, first quarter, there was the tackles flying in. We were outplayed, but just we out-hearted them. We out-wanted them. It was what we asked for in the fourth against Collingwood. And then, snap forward, 15-point lead, going into the fourth. We're now the only team to lose twice, leading at three-quarter time. Only team. It's been a rarity. Win at three-quarter time, win the game has been the philosophy. It's 5 times it's happened and we're 2 of them. It says it all. And it's a repeat thing. It's not something new. This has been going on since 2016, ladies and gentlemen. Our fourth quarters have been pissed since then. And it's... wait till next year. Longer quarters than playing in Melbourne. We'll change it. Well, it didn't change it then, did it? It ain't going to fucking change it now. So stop fucking being naive. Have some coffee. Go outside. Break... if you're in Melbourne, you're going to have to break fucking COVID restrictions. Drive down to the Sorrento beach, dip your head in the seawater and snap back into the real world with your Uncle Pom. Because I'll give you a hug once you embrace it. It needs to improve, and it's not going to improve by saying it'll improve next year. This club has had 5 years to fix it, and it hasn't. So what the fuck is going to happen in the off-season? A shortened off-season, I might add. How is it going to be fixed? It ain't. It ain't. You're going to have to recruit. You're going to have to recruit good ball users and people that change the culture in and out of the club. And that's what we have to do. And as fans, you're going to have to believe in me here. Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Nothing changes. But start expecting better. Start using your voice. We got Teague this role. We were a big part of it. The Teague train. And it was beautiful to watch the momentum we created. Get behind them and expect better, because these guys are better. For these percentages to drop means that at some stage in the game and in their career, they've been at the level required. Remember that. That's what analytics is about. So it's inside them. Just needs to come out more. We've now got Sydney coming up, and I don't know where to go, because honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I'm heartbroken. I could cry, and I'm fighting back tears talking about it. And I find it a little bit pathetic. I'm 34 years old, and I spent an hour crying in the bath. I had to go to the bath because I was too ashamed for my family to see me cry over something so trivial. That's fucking bad, man. My nana, when I laid her down in fucking... I probably cried less than I have over the 2 weeks, and that's fucking an aberration. It's a disgrace. Well, that's it. That's the review. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you guys and girls think. You do cheer me up. Sorry it's not the usual happy-go-lucky Pommy. I'll try and dig him out this week. As always, stay safe. Hope you're all well. Love you all, Pom out.